This next question was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Rick in the AWA country of Minnesota. Here is a topic I have not heard discussed in the thousands of hours I have listened to your shows. A while back, I heard that Matt Riddle had received some flack because he did not introduce himself to the other wrestlers when he moved up to the main roster. Which makes me wonder about the etiquette of introductions. If you are a new wrestler to a roster, how do you introduce yourself to the other boys? Do you use your real name or your gimmick name? Do you just walk up to a top-level guy like The Undertaker or Roman Reigns and introduce yourself? Or do you keep your distance from those top-tier guys? How do you refer to the other wrestlers? By their real name or gimmick name? Hello, Kevin Owens, my name is Axe Erickson. Or, hello, Mr. Steen, my name is Rick Evans. I will be wrestling as Axe Erickson.
Oh, boy.
So, is it the proper thing to try and meet everyone? Or don't the other wrestlers even care who you are?
This is so much horse shit. I don't even know where to start. And again, in today's wrestling environment, they have concocted these traditions and rites that they go through, and they've made up the traditions. As I said, remember somebody sent us the clip where Cody was saying, well, it's a tradition in wrestling. If a guy's going to win a belt, you put the bag the belt goes in his bag in the locker room. That's a fucking hell. And then I've illustrated that 20 years ago, we didn't even have belts or bags that the belt went in, much less have that tradition. The handshake thing, as I've said so many times, has gotten completely out of control. And I can say, first of all, I don't know what they do now. I think now they do call the guys, they call each other by their real names. Because this was going, the Motor City Machine Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, when they were in TNA, this was like 2007 or whatever. They called each other by their real name. We were having a finish meeting with a tag team and them and a referee, and they're calling each other by their real name. I don't know who the fuck they're talking about. And finally I had to ask myself, who are you talking about? Well, he's so-and-so. And I said, well, he's Chris and he's Alex from now on. Get used to it. Because nobody, the guys, unless you were best friends with somebody in and out of the business, you didn't call a guy by his real name in the days of the territories because that led you into a bad habit. That's why I saw an interview. This was 15 years ago. Some of those, the divas they had in the WWE, I think one of them was that Kelly. They were calling each other by their real names on a television interview and then laughing about it. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your name is so-and-so. It's just, you don't get in the habit of calling somebody by their real name because then you'll slip and do it in front of people. And in a lot of cases, if you called a guy by his real name in front of somebody outside the locker room in those days, that guy would get fucking pissed at you real quick. What the fuck are you doing, motherfucker? So, yes, the guys used to call each other by their gimmicks. You think anybody ever came in the locker room where Abdullah the Butcher was sitting? Hi, Larry. If you were friendly with him, it was hi, Abby. And if you were some schlub, it was hello, Mr. Butcher. Because he had Mr. Butcher monogrammed on the pocket of his custom-made shirts just so that you would get that idea. But anyway, so yes, so now they call each other by their real names, and I don't know what the fuck. It's just confusing. What was the other part of that thing? Oh, the handshake.
Right.
When you went in a locker room in the old days, if you were in a territory, your first day in the territory, you're meeting a lot of people for the first time. You walk in the locker room and you shake everybody's hand and introduce yourself by your gimmick name. Hi, if I'm Chief White Owl, hi, Chief White Owl, or whatever. It's people that don't know you. If you work some other name in a different territory and you know somebody from there, whatever the fuck. But you walk in the locker room and that would be about a 3-minute procedure because you're in one room And you're either just meeting the heels or the baby faces, whichever one you are. So there's 10 guys, maybe 12, or maybe that's the whole locker room and you're meeting 20 guys and a referee or two. And once you've done that, you've met everybody. Unless if you're in the Carolinas territory, there's a town running somewhere else. So sooner or later, you'll meet those guys. That was it. And then every night when you come in and you sit down. And if everybody's sitting there, you're shaking hands as you're putting your bag down. If somebody was getting a blowjob in the parking lot and wasn't in when you came and sat down and shook everybody's hand to say hello, and they come in later, you don't have to leap up and go over and shake their hand. You can just wave at them because you're seeing them every goddamn day. Right? And the last thing that I would do is if I came in a building at a house show or TV or anywhere else, and there is Bill Watts and his booker, Bill Dundee, or Jerry Jarrett and his business partner, Jerry Lawler, or Dusty Rhodes, the booker, talking to Jim Crockett over in the corner about some business, and me. Maybe I'm the popcorn guy. Maybe I'm the C-team referee. Maybe I'm the ring crew fellow. I'm going to go over and interrupt their conversation to stick my hand out and try to shake their hand and say, hey, hello, everybody. I'm here. I'm in the building. Fuck you. They would fire you. Get the fuck away from us. We're busy. But that's what happens now. Every time I've been in a goddamn administrative position in a wrestling promotion in the last 15 years, I go in and I'm trying to have a talk with the owner, or I'm trying to have a talk with the booker, or I'm trying to prep the goddamn TV announcers to do something, or I'm maybe discussing a finish with the main event that night. And I'll swear to God, Howie, the mailroom guy, and the popcorn fella, Pete, will come up and interrupt that conversation to shake our hands and tell us that they're in the building because they have been convinced by the rest of these modern marks that that is some time-honored tradition that you've got to do or you will be ostracized for it. And where it apparently came from is the WWE locker room, where these guys are so bored that they need to come up with shit to do to fuck with and or bully and or rib and or just occupy themselves with the young guys coming in to act like they have fucking status. I got news for you. Whether you're on the main roster or not, unless you're in the main event, you ain't got no fucking status. So if a guy's coming in from NXT and he sees John Cena, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, well, maybe stay away from Brock. He might be pissed off at human contact. Shake those motherfuckers' hands. The rest of them, it's goddamn annoying, and they're not any more important than you are. And that's the thing. This is another one of those things that's been made into a big deal. And then to the point now where some of the stars in the WWE believe this is or should be a big deal, to the point where if guys come in and see now the thing, there's 87 people. If you go to a WWE television taping, how many wrestlers you think are there? A lot more than you see on that particular one TV show. They've got everybody there standing by, other shows they're taping that same night. Then there's the agents. Then there's the fucking officials. Then there's just the important people, I use important in quotation marks, that wander around carrying papers and shit. You're saying hello and shaking hands all fucking day. And do you keep notes? Do you have a clipboard with all 97 people that you're supposed to shake the hand of? What if somebody was, I forgot, they don't go out in the parking lot and get a blowjob anymore. That's another thing we're missing from the wrestling business. What if somebody's outside playing on TikTok on their cell phone and they walk in, you haven't shaken you got to refer to their notes. Did I shake his hand? Fuck, I can't. Oh, I checked him off at 2:47 p.m. So I'm safe. He won't kill me. I shook his hand. What the fuck? A lot of guys used to just come in, wave hello, sit over in the corner, mind their own business, get dressed, go out, tear the fucking house down with a match because they're in the main event and people paid to see them, go on their merry way. Wasn't so complicated.